tragedy that keeps on talking. I can't stop thinking about all the implications and lessons of the Tucson shootings. Here's a politically incorrect concern I have about it. I think it may be that too many people, not too few, are taking it at face value. Folks, in many cases, seem pretty eager to buy the idea that this was just some crazy, acting completely alone with no political motivations. I do agree the guy was probably crazy and definitely evil in some form or fashion, but that doesn't automatically make this a standalone incident. I don't think it would be all that difficult for a tiny group of pro-federal operatives, or anti-federal for that matter, to make this kind of thing happen. All it would take is a little bit of goading of the right crazy people, or angry people. If you incite 100 such people, you're likely to get at least one that goes out and does the bad deed. I tend to be pretty agnostic about each specific conspiracy theory, whether it's about this or some other wicked attack. But I think the questions are always appropriate. Is tragic event X what it appears on the surface? The more people ask that question when there's a tragic attack, the less likely people will be to pull what I call the Bosnia trick. Rogue, and maybe not so rogue, operatives of every side in that conflict are thought to have attacked their own side to generate sympathy from the press and from locals. But if every such attack were heavily questioned, wherever it occurs, whoever it occurs to, that would remove the motivation to commit such false flag attacks. That's where the conspiracy theorists play a useful role. They reduce the advantages accrued by such attacks. Maybe that way they help reduce the number of such attacks. In any event, it may be appropriate to treat attacks on anti-liberty people the same way we treat attacks on pro-liberty people. Sort of. If a New Hampshire liberty activist were gunned down by some crazy who had written political ramblings that are all over the spectrum, we'd hate it and we'd draw attention to it. We wouldn't shrink from being part of the discussion about the tragedy. All the same can be said for the one that just occurred in Tucson.